guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing great. Man, it's been a while since I've actually, feels like a long time since I've sat down and filmed. Gone out of town, traveling, celebrated a birthday, but I'm back, ready to dive back into some YouTube. So today we are going to do the long-awaited, don't know how long-awaited it was, Q&A. You guys have been asking me such good questions, and I'm just here to go through a few. I'm gonna answer them, and I'm gonna see how I can help you guys out. My name is Stephanie, a UX designer. Join the fam, subscribe, comment, all those good things, and let's get into it. First question is kind of like a couple questions that I'm kind of blending into one, but somebody asked, what are some other boot camps I recommend? Springboard has a job guarantee, but you need a bachelor's degree for that requirement. Do you know any of other boot camps that have job placement guarantee without the degree requirement? Okay, so like I say, I always talk about Springboard, link down in the description, $1,000 off. In terms of other boot camps that do job guarantees, and again, I don't know the specifics of the requirements. I should have looked those up before. Career Foundry has a job guarantee, as well as Pathrise. I don't think they're as big. And for those that don't know, the job guarantee is pretty much you won't have to pay anything back unless you get a job, unless you, I think the wording can be a little bit different, unless you get a job until you start a job, something along those lines. So that's really nice. You don't have to necessarily pay anything up front until you've kind of reaped the benefits. Another good one is App Academy. They don't have a job guarantee, but it's another one that I've learned a little bit more about, and I think they've got a really good UX program. So if you have to go outside of Springboard, which I totally understand, these are some other good options to think about. Next question, and it's again kind of a mix of a couple questions that I've gotten a lot, and I thank you guys for trusting me to answer this, is how do I get hired when I'm from a different country or continent? So, and I can only speak for my experience as somebody that lives in the United States. I've always lived in the United States pretty much. And I've only applied to jobs in the US as a US citizen, so I can only speak to a little bit of Googling that I did. I would say try to be open to freelance work and contract work, anything that's part-time, and see if any of these places you can parlay into a full-time position. I think I'd also say to look for are global companies that have employees in different countries that hire, you know, internationally. I think those might be your best bet, because if they already have people in other parts of the world, they might be open to hiring you as somebody who's maybe not in the base country as well. And it doesn't have to be US, it could be Europe, it could be Asia, it could be South America, like any of these places. So I'd kind of look at those avenues and come at it from a few different angles. So global companies, look at work visas and permits, see if any of these job openings, or even see if you can filter your job search to only have companies that are going to sponsor work permits, that kind of thing. So it's a little bit more work on top of a standard job hunting process being outside the US, I'm assuming is what you're asking. But I do know they're out there. There's quite a few actually contractors that work not in the US that work at my company. So they're definitely out there. There's definitely roles for it. So don't let that discourage you. What are some of the best free online resources for becoming a design pro? So I love the wording of that question. It's hard to be a pro at anything. I must say, I'm not a pro. I'm far from a pro. But if you're just looking to kind of continue to build on your skills, not necessarily a resource, but anything that you can take to be stronger in whatever program of choice you use, you're going to be better off for it. So for me, and you know me guys, I sing Figma's praises. A couple of videos ago, I was telling you all about config and the conference and just the great updates. So if you can get really good at Figma, it's going to make the design work go by so much quicker. You'll be able to get feedback faster, you'll be able to implement faster. So if you can really build that Figma skill, whatever software skill, I say Figma, but whatever software skill, it's gonna be great. In terms of design like challenges, Hack Design is another great resource. It's like an email-based weekly design course where they send like lessons and like practice things that you can do. So that's something that you can use to keep your skills sharp. I should actually take a look at it and see. Might be fun to tackle for myself. So that is something that's great. There's also like, there's like daily UI task or daily UX, something like that, where they send like a prompt to your inbox. That is something that you can do as well. In terms of if you need any design inspiration, Mobin, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. That's another great one as well. If you just want to get inspired as you're working on design things, that's another great resource. Also, just reading, tons and tons of reading. Like get on Medium, get on UX Collective, get on LinkedIn, and just read like what's happening in tech, what's happening in UX. Like I need to do a better job of doing that a little bit more. I was really great when I first started, but now that I've been kind of doing it for a bit, I've kind of fallen off, and it's definitely something that I think it's important to just be aware of the industry that you're in. So that was a lot of resources, but I hope that helps. Okay, next question. What is one app you would like to redesign / work on? I got a lot, guys. I've got a lot, and I had a different answer before when I was planning this video, but now that I've come back from vacation, the Resi app, the reservation app, overall, I do like it. Overall, I think it's great. There are just some like UX-y things that I feel like could be modified. Like when you're trying to see reservations, I think hitting the reservations tab is immediately where my mind goes, but you actually have to click your profile photo and then tap over your like account, and your reservations are listed there. Like that interaction feels kind of weird. And guys, it's a little story time here. We just got back from a vacation. We went to New York and DC, and we were trying to get reservations for a lot of cool places in New York, and a lot of them are on Resi. So what I found out is that Resi does not have a reCAPTCHA, like reCAPTCHA when booking reservations. So all these like really hot restaurants that everybody wants to get into, you can get a bot swoops up all the reservations, and then it's resold on like, not even like a black market site, but like a third-party site. So you are paying like $100, $200 just for the reservation for the restaurant. And when I heard that, guys, I was annoyed, of course, but also kind of mad that I didn't think of it myself. But I was like, you know how, again, I don't know exactly how easy, but put in a reCAPTCHA, you don't have that problem, So it's one thing that came up in the past couple of weeks that made me think like, I'd like to improve that. I do love Resi though. If you want to sponsor me, hit me up. Next one is, how do you deal with work-life balance? You never seem stressed. And thank you for that question. And of course I do. I obviously get stressed. I feel like people never show you obviously the bad stuff. I'm not gonna whip out my camera when I'm having like a crap day, So it's like with YouTube, with social media, so you have to kind of take that with a grain of salt. But when it comes to the balance of it, you have to make conscientious effort to give yourself that balance. I'm not trying to give myself balance anymore. I'm just doing it. And I guess what I mean by that, like let's say at the start of the day, I tell myself I've got to run a bunch of errands and I'm meeting friends later tonight. I need to like sign off work at 4:30. So when 4:30 comes around, I sign up, unless there's obviously something like catastrophic that needs my attention, but that's mostly not the case. And sometimes, especially when you work from home, you find yourself still working past hours, which is fine. Like if you still have stuff that you need to do, don't skip your deadlines, don't miss your deadlines. But I think it's okay to just unplug and shut it off. And like I said, I've stopped trying to say, oh, let me try it, work-life balance. I'm just doing it, and that's it. Because it's like I've worked many years at many a toxic work environment, and I'm just not doing it. Like now I'm 30, which is crazy. It's like I'm not doing it. I have another 30 plus years to keep working, which sounds horrible. When are you going to learn to balance? When are you going to learn work-life balance? You have to just start. You just have to start. Like notifications. Like I have Slack and my work email on my phone, but I don't have any notifications come on after 5. After 5, you might Slack me. I won't respond. I won't see it till the morning. Even little things like that help, like mentally help, because I always joke, like I'm a designer. I'm not a doctor. Nobody's life is on the line. Like this work is important, but it's not life or death. As much as I love the work that I do, and I don't know if this is okay to say, but I'm saying it, I work to fund the life and the lifestyle that I want. I obviously like my job and I love the work that I do. I do it because I want to live a certain way. My real life is my friends and my family and my dog and going to restaurants and reading the books and buying all the books that I want. Like, that is my life. So why would I put what's funding my life, work, over my actual life? Like that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So that's kind of how I look at it. And it's obviously, not perfect. There's obviously some days where I'm like completely out of balance, but it's the fact that I'm choosing to make an effort to just give myself that balance. And it takes time. There are stressful days, but I just roll with it. Just try to give myself that balance and try to do the things that matter. If you guys want to learn more about kind of my day-to-day, I have a playlist linked here on work days in my life, so you can kind of get a sense of what it actually is like to be a UX designer from my perspective. Thank you guys for all your good questions as usual. Keep them coming. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, all those good things, and I'll see you guys in the next one.